He walked into hell, carrying nothing but the law. Mississippi answered with mobs, bullets, and blood, and he refused to turn back. In 1962, James H. Meredith did not ask for bravery. He asked for something far more dangerous in the Deep South, the enforcement of a promise America had already made on paper. He applied to the University of Mississippi, a public institution funded by his tax dollars in his home state. He met every requirement. He followed every rule. The university accepted him. Then they discovered he was black. His admission was quietly revoked, as if dignity could be erased with a memo. No hearing, no justification. Just the old machinery of segregation, doing what it had always done, closed the door, and hoped the person would retreat. Meredith did not retreat. A veteran of the United States Air Force, Meredith believed in order, in discipline, and in the meaning of citizenship. He believed that if a man served his country, the country owed him the protection of its laws. That belief put him on a collision course with Mississippi. He sued. In the early 1960s, suing the state of Mississippi as a black man was not a legal decision alone. It was a social, political, and physical risk. But a federal court ruled in his favor. The Constitution was clear. The University of Mississippi, known as Ole Miss, was ordered to admit him. On paper, the fight was over. In reality, it was just beginning. When Meredith arrived on September 20th, 1962, he did not meet administrators or advisors. He met defiance at the highest level of state power. Governor Ross Barnett personally blocked his entry, turning segregation into theater and defiance into policy. Mississippi chose spectacle over law. It chose rebellion over compliance. It chose to resist the Constitution itself. A federal judge found the governor in contempt and warned him to stand down or face arrest and crushing fines. The state still refused, so the federal government did what it had avoided for generations. On September 30th, 1962, James Meredith was escorted onto campus by United States Marshals. That night, Ole Miss erupted. White mobs descended on the university armed with bricks, bottles, and guns. They attacked federal officers whose only task was to enforce the law. Shots rang out. Chaos spread. The campus became a battlefield. 2 people were killed. Hundreds were injured. President Kennedy ordered the National Guard to restore order. All of it happened because one black man insisted on attending class. The next morning, James Meredith returned. He went to class under armed guard. He walked hallways thick with hatred. He sat alone. He ate alone. He studied alone. Every part of campus life was designed to isolate him, to grind him down, to make him leave voluntarily so the state could claim victory without force. He did not leave. In 1963, James Meredith graduated with a degree in political science. The same state that had tried to block him at every step was forced to hand him a diploma. It was not reconciliation. It was surrender. But Meredith's confrontation with fear did not end there. In 1966, he began what he called the March Against Fear, a solitary walk from Memphis, Tennessee, to Jackson, Mississippi. His purpose was both simple and radical: to encourage black Americans to register to vote without terror. No mass movement, no protection. Just one man walking through the heart of the state that had nearly killed him 4 years earlier. One day into the march, a sniper shot him. The bullet tore into his body and dropped him on the roadside. Once again, Mississippi answered courage with violence. Many assumed the march was over. It wasn't. Civil rights leaders rushed to continue it: Martin Luther King Jr., Stokely Carmichael, and others, turning Meredith's solitary protest into a mass movement. It was during this march that Carmichael spoke words that would reshape the movement. Language and direction, black power. Those words were not born of hatred. They were born of exhaustion, of watching dignity answered with bullets, of seeing courage punished again and again. James Meredith recovered, and when he could walk, he rejoined the very march that had nearly taken his life. On June 26, 1966, the marchers reached Jackson together. James Meredith never sought popularity. He never tried to soften his message. He believed rights were not granted by approval, but enforced through action. His life exposes a truth America still struggles to accept. Progress is not polite. Courage is rarely celebrated in real time, and the people who move history forward often walk alone first, absorbing the danger so others may walk later in relative safety. James Meredith did not wait for Mississippi to be ready.